I'm guessing.
I do like how he disposes of bodies.
Yes, because when that
It's
happened,
almost like an American Psycho.
yeah. See, I saw that movie one time and I don't remember anything about it. Saw it in theaters, but
That's kind of like this movie. This week on Treason Space, Jason and I watched a 2023 rated R mystery and thriller action movie, The Killer. So I'm sure you all want to know about what this movie is. Let's get into it. It is after a fateful near miss, an assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal.
This isn't personal. It is!
well, I think it got personal because this 3-hour movie,
It's a long movie.
2 hours of it got personal.
Look,
and
I'm going to be real with you. Okay, so this movie was directed by David Fincher, which is a great director, and written by Andrew Kevin Walker. I think this movie could have shaved probably an hour.
It could have shaved a lot. And the thing is, it says here in the information about the movie, a faithful near miss. First and foremost, it's a stupid word. Near miss means hit. If you nearly missed something, it means you didn't miss it, you hit it. So
a near hit?
It's a near hit, but he did hit. He just hit the wrong target.
Right.
So you figure something was going on. And before you sit down with your popcorn and your soda and your Twizzlers, black ones, by the way, licorice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Red,
I understand.
Red vines.
I hate red vines.
Red vines are disgusting.
I don't know why that was a thing. I mean, it's like, it's not even like the great value Twizzlers. It's like I don't even know what it is, but
it's worse than Necco wafers.
But before you sit down with your popcorn and watch this movie, understand you're going to listen. There is so much narration. I've never seen a movie with so much narration. And I appreciate a little narration here and there, but the main character, the actor,
Michael Fassbender.
Yes, Michael Fassbender. Yes. He doesn't talk a lot in the movie. That's his part. Well, that's who he is.
He talks in
overtalk. He narrates.
He talks in thought. Yes.
Yes. The whole movie. The whole movie.
He doesn't talk to anybody until the end.
He does. I mean, he says a couple words like on the phone with his employer at the very beginning, and he talks to who I assume is his girlfriend, who's ended up in the hospital. But it's a more slow burn John Wick is how I would put it. I mean, it's not nearly as well written as John Wick.
So the majority of this movie, or the best part of this movie, is him waiting in an Upwork or a UWork facility building, like an executive space office, and he's just waiting there with a little just hanging out, doing yoga, sleeping on drywall, like eating a sandwich.
He's waiting to assassinate somebody.
Right. And then like it's just,
and that's the beginning of the movie. So if Nate says that's the best part of the movie, and that takes 30 minutes, you can tell how, I mean, this might be what people want to see. Some people might want to see this movie like this because it's more artsy, if you will. I mean, to the point where I haven't looked at the numbers that we do every day or every time we do the show. I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes have said about this. If it's not above 70, I will kiss my own ass on camera. I'm not sure I'm going to do it.
Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass.
And if it is, that tells me it's a very unique artsy movie. The there's not a lot of content to this movie to discuss.
No, this could be this movie is look, this might be the shortest episode ever. I tried I accidentally watched this movie and I was like, okay. I mean, I watched it, you watched it. We might as well just go ahead and get into the Rotten Tomato score of this.
Skip to the end.
Before we get into that, let's not be that short of this thing. We got to talk about something. I mean, the fight scene, because he goes to different places. He's tracking down. Okay, what happened was he failed his mission, so the client got mad, said to the lawyer, do whatever you do when somebody screws up. So they sent assassins to his house to kill his wife/girlfriend. I'm guessing.
I do like how he disposes of bodies.
Yes, because when that
it's
happens,
almost like an American Psycho.
Yeah, see, I saw that movie one time and I don't remember anything about it. Saw it in theaters, but
that's kind of like this movie.
Right. So, that's a good point. I don't remember the movie. So why am I saying it's a good point when I don't even know if it's a good point? I'm agreeing with you. No, I didn't have no idea if it's a good point or not.
Like, I feel like this movie was great. I want to say this was a really good movie. I really do. But for the life of me, barely remember any part of this movie.
Well,
it's just
because it's not forgettable.
It's non-imprinting. It's just 2 hours of my life that I really just have a gap.
Was it 2 hours? I think it was a bit longer than 2 hours. It felt longer than 2 hours.
It was like 2.5, I think.
So, of course, his girlfriend don't die. And then I guess the brother's in the hospital saying, I know you're good to her, and she loves you. And he goes to the brother, this will never happen again. I won't let this happen again, or what have you. He's an assassin. An attorney contacts him, says you need to kill this person because the client wants this person dead. Well, that went bad. So the attorney told the client goes, well, clears up however you do, which was supposed to be killed the assassin. That went bad, so he has to go see the attorney, which gives him the room to find out who the assassins were that went to go kill his girlfriend. And from that point, found out who the client was, and then went to go get the client. So he's working backwards, which is a great idea. The fight he had with the brute in St. Petersburg, which I thought was great. You could tell that was Florida. He had the pit bull, some of the stuff they were saying. I hope they're not having a sleepover. That was kind of funny. That fight that he had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bayou part area.
Yes. The fight they had in that house was an excellent fight. I thought they did it. It was a little dark, but I think they did it very well. But still, after he left, because he wins, obviously, I know the other dude lost, but he was more beat up than the main character. And the main character got his butt handed to him, and he barely got some bruise on his eye. Like, you see him like 2 hours later, he just get a bruise on his eye and maybe a cut here. The other dude who ended up dead, I mean, he's bleeding out. I think his ass. I think he fell on a piece of wood and it went up his ass.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Just relax.
Because he's feeling down by his crotch where he has the gun in the bathroom. You don't remember that? I'm
telling you, this movie, you are telling me a movie that I didn't know existed right now.
Well, do you remember? That was the first assassin. Then went to the second one, which is the female at the restaurant. So she talked to him.
Tilda Swinton or whatever her name is.
He kills her by the steps or whatever. But you're right, the way he gets rid of bodies, because he kills everyone, by the way. He tracks these people down and he doesn't leave anyone alive. So if you think that he's going to leave someone alive because they had nothing to do with what happened, you're mistaken.
I'm going to enjoy it very, very much.
Oh, yeah. Like, he keeps old girl alive until the house.
Mm-hmm. And she, and she's like, please don't let them not find me because life insurance and stuff. And you figured, okay, well, he's going to let her go because she has nothing to do with what happened. Didn't. The cab driver.
Yep.
Killed him. Boom.
I thought for sure that he was going to let that dude go.
Me too.
And then he just left the car, right?
Yes, he just left the car.
And the guy.
What blows my mind, it's all said and done. He finds the client, breaks in there, and says, if I have to come back, you're gonna regret this or whatever. And he leaves him alive. He leaves the client alive. If you miss something he says, like, oh, that's a good pearl of knowledge right there. He says something like so crazy and like, wow, I never thought about that. Don't rewind it, because he will say it again. 5 or 6 times. Like, okay, we get it.
Stay on mission.
Yes.
Don't overlook the objective. Stay on target.
Don't improvise or don't adapt. Be patient or whatever it was.
Overcome. What? And then I'm going to make a sandwich.
Yeah, I know. It's like, who's he talking to? Is he writing his memoirs?
Calisthenics.
It's and you figure that's happening at the beginning because he's in the high rise and like he's letting us know who he is and he's a killer like he is. But you'd figured to be more, conversational pieces.
But
there's not.
This is a comic book movie. This is an adaptation from a comic book. Oh. I cannot imagine the pages of just panel without context, just pictures.
Yeah, with no words.
No words. That's what it'd be. Just big one-sheet panels. It's an artist's dream.
It really is. And I'm sure it's a beautiful comic. I'm sure, I could do that, but to make this in a movie that was longer than 2 hours, I don't know where they could have cut parts out, but they definitely could have cut parts out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about this movie. So I know you're ready to go to the reviews already, like 10 minutes ago, but we can't just let this die like that. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't.
I could have pushed the button.
No.
Okay. Burned it down. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it. The Rotten Tomatoes score was an 85%, so Jason does not have to eat his own ass. And the audience rating was a 59%, which I think both those scores were very, very generous.
I'm surprised Rotten Tomatoes is not higher and the audience rating is not lower. So, because like I said, it's going to be at least above 70 because they think these kind of weird.
Oh, you called it. As soon as you said it, I almost started laughing. Like,
well, you put a smile on your face, so I kind of knew.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it tell. All right, The first 5-star review comes from Neil H. Title says it all. Fastbender is perfectly cast. The Reznor and Ross score, and especially the soundtrack, are killer, but the main standouts are the incredible sound design and mixing. I will say I enjoyed the musical pieces of it.
I think Fastbender was a great cast. I don't know who Reznor and Ross are, but I guess they're soundtrack people.
Trent Reznor from Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails.
Okay, sure. Sounds good to me. 1-star review or less. Let's see what they say. Okay. This is from Jason B. I'm Jason S. I didn't write this. Never ever thought that I would accuse the man who brought us seven, Fight Club, Gone Girl, and many other classics of being boring. And yet with the killer, here I am.
This movie is mighty disappointing compared to those other movies. 7 is great.
7 is one of the better movies of all time. Top 50 anyway.
This 5-star review comes from Gendrick Eschmont.
That's impressive. I would not have said Gendrick Eschmont. I would have said Gardrick. I would have messed that whole name up. Beautiful, man.
So Gendrick Eschmont says, the most charred, slow burn in Fisher resume. Its simplicity is perfection.
Well, yes, it was very simple. Yeah, so
I just don't know how
it was slow burn.
And I don't know how you can give it a 5-star with
I don't.
Slow churn, really?
I didn't feel invested in the relationship he had with the woman. I had no
I
idea who
didn't
she
even know who the
was.
fuck she was.
You saw the very end when she was fine, but when they showed her in the bed, though, that was good makeup because she
Yeah.
looked messed up. But anyways. So a 1-star review. Russ R. Absolutely awful. So unbelievably contrived and dull. I love Fastbender, but the script is so terrible, it's impossible for him to act his way out of it. Oh, for the fun. Let's use incredible, well-known TV characters for his aliases. Oh, yes, because no one will pick up on that. So stupid. That is a good point. I did like that. Every passport he had was the name of someone from TV, like Sam Malone, Lou
I
Grant.
completely forgot all about that.
I
Wasn't
did
like
too.
I wanted to say Luke Skywalker, but I felt like that wasn't one.
I don't think Luke Skywalker won, but they're relatively good, known fictional characters in cinema and TV. So
I do remember that he patented his look after like a Spanish tourist or American.
German tourists, because they said
Yes.
that they don't talk German tourists. Yeah,
And it was like very bland and basic, look unrecognizable.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
they be left
Yeah.
alone. Yeah, because make sure you cannot not be seen anymore. So just make sure you're unrememberable, like
That's
this movie.
Very much. The last 5-star review comes from Connor L. Pretty much a banger from the front to back. It's Fisher at his most focused, and that's something I feel like I haven't seen since Fight Club.
Now, Fight Club had a lot more stuff in between that kept the excitement going to the twist at the end. So, and matter of fact, all those movies, Seven, Fight Club, Gone Girl, they had twists at the ends, exciting things at the end. This one did not have that. There was nothing like. Anyways, my last 1-star review from Ashley M. Poorly written dialogue, wholly undeveloped characters, tedious plot. Like someone asked AI to write a screenplay for a thriller. That's the second time we were brought up by AI. Almost like everyone thinks movies are now AI.
I just think it's quite ironic that in 2 episodes back-to-back recordings that AI was mentioned in the comments.
Yes.
And you did your thing. So for those that don't know, Behind the Sausage for this episode, if Jason leads it, this is his movie choice, and he puts together the show notes and whatnot. When I lead, it's my movie, which is this movie, and I put together the stuff.
We don't discuss it.
Nope. So the what the fluff review comment, which is a 0.5 star, and you know what? I just don't understand. It says killer all right of boredom. I don't.
Huh? I mean, killer killed of boredom, died of boredom.
I don't see how this movie could be the killer of boredom.
That's what.
If anything, this movie is the cure to going to sleep.
Yeah. No, the cure of staying awake. If you have insomnia, watch this thing.
True. All right, so I will go ahead and give you my ranking of this movie or rating overall. Yeah, it's a movie. I can remember parts of it. It's very unrememberable. I learned more about this movie in this episode than I remembered of watching it. So I am going to say a stump.
Wow. Did you give Strays a stump?
I think I gave Strays more than a stump.
I think you did too. And I did too. No, I gave Strays a stump. I'm pretty sure. Michael Fassbender. There are some qualities to this movie. It's not my type of movie. There needs to be a little more dialogue, maybe a scene shot without Michael Fassbender, because he was in every shot.
Oh, he got paid.
Maybe someone in the background, like maybe the lawyer talking to the client and stuff, or the the assassins having a conversation afterwards, or something that kind of shows the other people, build up them a little bit. That probably should have happened. It didn't. Now I have to argue against all other assassin movies, and there's a lot of them. I am going to give this one tree.
Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Treason Space, the review of the movie The Killer. If you did like it, please leave a comment below. Tell us what you enjoyed. If you didn't like it, go ahead and leave another comment anyway. Tell us what you didn't like about it. But please go ahead and share it with your friends. Subscribe, like, comment, push, whatevers. And we will come back to you next Monday at 7 a.m. when we drop the next episode of Treason Space. I've been Nate. That's been Jason. Take care, everybody.